What's happening, sports fans? How you doing? I am Kendrick, the sports guy. Good day to you. In this segment, we're talking women's sports and sports bars. Make sure you pull up a seat, smash that like button, smash that follow button, and subscribe to the YouTube channels if you have not already done so. Those channels are Kendrick Sports Hustle as well as TFG Sports Media. The Sports Bra, not the Sports Bruh, not the Sports Bro, but the Sports Bra, B-R-A, has opened in Portland, Oregon. And what makes this sports bar a little different than others, it only shows women's sports. Now, the owner, Jenny Nguyen, had this concept in mind and says that she decided to go something with something a little different and try to open up a sports bar that only shows women's sports, and it opened in 2022. Again, this is in Portland, Oregon. Now, according to Nguyen, the bar made $1 million in revenue in its first 8 months, a figure Nguyen says has consistently grown year after year. Now, again, the Sports Bra, it is the inaugural bar dedicated to showing only women's sports, has performed so well that it's become the first business of its kind to receive venture capital support in the form of a partnership with Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian. Now, if that name sounds familiar, he is the husband of tennis legend Serena Williams. Now, in June, the bar announced that it would use this capital influx to open expansion franchises in Boston, Las Vegas, Indianapolis, and St. Louis. And there's some other cities that are following this same concept. Kansas City, Missouri is one, where they're going to be opening sports bars strictly showing women's sports. My thoughts on this? Definitely a different concept, one that I never thought of, but with the popularity of the WNBA now, we've seen the television ratings have grown quite substantially since the coming in of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Then you got the women's college World Series softball that just happened a couple of weeks ago. The popularity of that. Then you obviously got the women's soccer team, the World Cup with women's soccer, and women's track and field. So there's a lot of sports that I think a lot of fans, sports fans, they do want to watch the women's side of it. Now, my thoughts on this, I think the biggest thing for us supporting women's sports, I think the one group that don't support women's sports is in a big way is women themselves. And I say that if you want to see women's sports get the type of popularity and get the type of money that men make in their sport, which we know there's going to always be a difference. There's always going to be a double standard to that. That's something you got to work through. But I think the biggest thing for women's sports to have, they got to have women's support. They got to have women that's going out buying jerseys and buying their shoes. I'm speaking of the WNBA version. And supporting, again, women's college softball and women's track and field and women's soccer and the World Cup when all that stuff come around. So I think it's a good concept, and I think it sounds like it's going well for Jenny Nguyen there in Portland, Oregon. So again, she's definitely tapped into a concept. Now, it wasn't easy. I was reading an article. By the way, I ran across this article on Front Office Sports. I was reading an article, and as far as her getting funding, it was tough. She got turned down quite a few times when she went to banks and told her what her concept was, but she was able to finally get the financing she needed. And according to what I've read, that the Sports Bra is doing well and is expanding. So again, different concept. Women's sports are the popularity is on the rise, most particularly, again, women's basketball, women's college basketball, and we'll see what happens. I know I would visit. If I'm ever in Oregon, I'll go check it out, just see what the atmosphere is like. I'd like to know what you guys think of this new concept, women's sports bars. Well, not technically women, because all people are welcome, but sports bars that are showing only women's sports. Would you check it out? I'd like to know your thoughts. Talk to me in the comments. I'm Kendrick, the sports guy. We will see you on the other side and on the next report. I am out. Peace.